Grandmaster is deceiving you. Zhu Wuyan saw him so angry and quickly replied, Grandmaster, I believe in you, but please don't pretend to be war god anymore. Ken Xuan was no longer in the mood to be angry and turned to fly away. He said, enough, I have been in seclusion for 100,000 years. Does the world no longer believe in the reputation of the mystical heavenly emperor? Zhu Wuyan still knelt on the ground, confused as he looked after him. At this moment, Chen Chuan continued to speak irritably. Then I will prove it to the world. Suddenly, two gigantic hands appeared from the sky, clenching into fists, and then brought down a tremendous blow onto the ground. Ken Chuan's voice rang out, once and for all, who truly is? He clasped his hands together, preparing to unleash his magic, and continued, the one who stands at the pinnacle of this continent. On the ground, a long crack appeared, resulting from that mighty punch. Dust and debris filled the air, and the three people, Marshal Marcus Marshal, Zhu Wuyan, and Mao Man, who witnessed the scene were all astonished, mouths agape. They all shouted, the war god Abyss has been reassembled. At that moment, everyone understood who was responsible for the war god Abyss. On the other hand, Ling Tong, who was fleeing, suddenly felt the ground shaking. In his heart he wondered, why is the earth moving like that? At this moment, Ling Tong finally realized that he had misunderstood the words of divine presence. The rock walls were gradually closing in, seemingly wanting to crush Ling Tong into thin slices. He was terrified and used both hands to try and push the rock walls apart, shouting, the war god Abyss is shrinking. Now he finally understood what divine presence had said. The war god reappearing in the human realm was not just him or Zhu Wuyan alone. He was squeezed so tightly that he spat blood and cried out in pain. At that moment, he silently thought, from start to finish, it was only about the mystical heavenly emperor. Chen Xuan secretly thought to himself, it is indeed good that I pretended to be provoked into action. This reason isn't bad. At that instant, a system panel appeared and displayed the words, I knew it all along. At the edge of the world of the Hongming continent, on a small rock, Mao Mo, looking like a mad scientist, was joyfully shouting. He laughed loudly and said, ha ha, after spending 100 years, my research has finally confirmed it. It turns out that Mao Mo was so happy he was about to cry. He discovered that the land shifted every year according to a law at a speed of several inches, which corresponded to energy balance. Therefore, he could prove that this world was not created by a deity. He looked up at the sky and shouted, I must name my discovery the study of harmonics. This will definitely change the world. Suddenly, the rock he was standing on shifted an entire 100 yards, leaving him in shock at this change. His eyes bulged out in disbelief. In pain, he collapsed, his face dejected and gloomy. He wondered, how could this be? How could the land suddenly move 100 yards? Eventually he wept and lamented, no, the study of harmonics does not exist anymore. This world has a deity. Snowflakes fell gently and the wind was desolate. Because Chen Xuan carelessly acted on a whim, entering the study of harmonics of this world, he was killed in the cradle. The crack had now closed, but still left many sharp spikes in the ground. Zhu Wuyan shouted from below, catching Chen Xuan's attention. He said, Grandmaster, the war god Abyss has been merged into the war god. Ling Tong was killed by someone in the dark chasm, right? He asked, looking at Chen Xuan with a worried expression. Chen Xuan landed softly from the air and replied gently, no, as long as Ling Tong's hatred for the human race remains, then his war god will not die. Hearing this, he disappointingly asked again, even the Grandmaster couldn't kill him. The crowd, overhearing this, began to chatter. One of them said, if so, sooner or later, he'll come back to kill us. Doesn't that mean we will be exterminated? Marshal Marcus Marshal stepped out from the crowd, clasped his hands together, and hinted at Chen Xuan, saying, Master, when Ling Tong returns in the future, will you still step in to save us? Chen Xuan, upon hearing this, remained indifferent, scratched his nose, and replied, why should I save you? Your deaths have nothing to do with me. When they heard he didn't want to save them, they were utterly shocked. Marshal Marcus Marshal sighed, ah, so ruthless. Chen Xuan crossed his arms and looked at Zhu Wuyan. He just wanted to deal with Ling Tong, but it depended on Wu Yan. He pointed to himself, confused, and asked, "Me?" The villagers, not believing it, pointed at Zhu Wuyan and exclaimed loudly, "Look, master, you still can't do it." Qin Zuan recalled the scene of separating the two demons. He said no to deal with Ling Tong. Someone had to approach the battle physique in his soul. At that time, Wu Yan, who once had the war god physique, would be the best choice. Seeing Zhu Wuyan holding his head in pain, he continued, "But since the war god is with him, Wu Yan could be pulled into the fight at any moment." In Zhu Wuyan's mind, there were always two demons chatter beside him. "Go die, go die," Chen Chuan continued, his cold gaze directed at Ling Tong. The vengeful spirit of Ling Tong would also affect Wu Yan. Such a result could lead to death at any moment. "Wu Yan, will you accept?" Chen Xuan asked. Zhu Wu Yan looked at him in surprise and replied, "Die at any moment." The woman with her hair in a bun frowned and exclaimed, "Himph, you're afraid to go to the battlefield, yet you're willing to die for us." The boy with the high bun crossed his arms and continued, "He only cares about himself." Qin Zuan turned to leave, and before walking away, he said to Zhu Wuyan, "Wu Yan, you can decide for yourself. The Grandmaster will not force you. Just know that if you refuse, we will no longer be related. You can rest assured to live like a normal person and continue your lineage." Upon hearing this, Zhu Wuyan's face brightened. He looked at him and said, "So I can finally continue living for the family with peace of mind." Seeing him happily run towards his wife, Chen Chuan couldn't help but feel a bit disappointed. Indeed, this brat Wu Yan was somewhat indifferent, but now he could finally live with peace of mind. He secretly thought maybe he didn't want to take risks. Marshal Marcus Marshall observed him with joy and thought, "Looks like we still have to deal with Ling Tong's return." Mao Man happily called out to Wu Yan. Zhu Wu Yan beamed at her, flashing a big smile. "That, wife," he said, his eyes a little awkward. Regarding this decision, he felt he needed to apologize to her first. Mao Man looked at him, gently saying, "It's okay, why is that?" In her heart, she understood that Wu Yan had sacrificed to save them once. She couldn't leave him alone. A sorry rang out, along with Wu Yan's large hand wrapping around her head, causing Mao Man to be surprised. He embraced her tightly, saying, "I have decided to accept the war god physique." He just hugged Mao Man tightly and smiled, saying, "Next, if you follow me, perhaps we have to stay here for a while, and our marriage will be temporarily postponed." Mao Man heard this and felt both happy and sad, unsure of what to say. Everyone around was shocked, shouting loudly, "What? Wu Yan has accepted it, and when did he become a couple with Mao Man?" Zhu Wuyan looked at everyone, smiled, and expressed his thoughts. "Don't be so surprised, before I just wanted to continue the family line. After all, my ancestors did that, causing my family to fall into ruin." Everyone's faces showed clear signs of surprise and panic. Marshal Marcus Marshall widened his eyes, not believing what he was saying. Zhu Wuyan continued, his eyes gazing into the distance, as if reminiscing about scenes of war. "In the past, I only cared about preserving the family, but after this battle, my thoughts have changed. When caught in the battlefield, I finally understood the horrors of war. I've realized that one day I will die, but I am not afraid, because everyone has something they are willing to risk their lives to protect." He tightly held Mao Man's hand, a bright smile on his face, declaring, "Now I also have someone important in my heart. I cannot let danger threaten my life and the lives of others." Before the heroes of Wuhan, Marshal Marcus Marshall listened, feeling a deep emotion inside. Previously, everyone thought that only those who won every battle deserved to be called war god. But now seeing you all bravely face danger despite knowing your own frailty is what truly makes you a war god. Zhu Wuyan stepped forward to Chen Zuan, calling out loudly, "Grandmaster." He knelt before Chen Zuan, his eyes shining with determination. The young generation Wu Yan is willing to accept the war god. In this lifetime, I have no regrets. Everyone who witnessed this scene couldn't help but be amazed. Mao Man shed tears, calling out his name, Wu Yan. Chen Zuan smiled with satisfaction, grasping the collar of Zhu Wu Yan and pulling him to his feet, then said, "Brat, well done. Finally, Grandmaster recognizes you." Then he turned and said seriously, "Now Grandmaster will impart the Ling Tong and War God forms to you." Zhu Wuyan raised his head, his eyes ablaze with determination, shouting, "Bring it on!" Qin Xuan summoned the soul of Ling Tong from the surrounding space. Under Chen Xuan's command, Ling Tong's soul flew towards Zhu Wuyan. Before the astonished eyes of everyone, his body began to glow. After a short time, a dazzling golden armor named War God manifested clearly on Zhu Wuyan, complete and majestic. At that moment, the system announced, "The young generation Zhu Wuyan has resolved the threat of the demonic spirit. Mission Trial 3 completed. The owner receives the reward cultivation elevated to the 7th rank of Sword Emperor." Qin Xuan breathed a sigh of relief, looking at the system and smiling. Great, finally wrapped up. Marshal Marcus Marshall stood among the crowd, witnessing this scene and laughing heartily. "Haha, after this long war, we human race finally have hope." Without finishing his sentence, the crowd lifted Zhu Wuyan up and cheered excitedly. "We have won, Wuyan brat, you are amazing, I knew I wasn't wrong about you." At that moment, a group of people joyfully tossed him into the air. It seemed everyone was incredibly happy and elated. Suddenly, the ground began to tremble violently. Everyone staggered, looked up at the sky, and shouted loudly, "Hey, is that an earthquake?" "Oh no, what the heck are you guys doing?" In the sky, a dazzling green beam of light suddenly appeared and streaked across. Marshal Marcus Marshall shouted loudly, "Wait, what is that?" Just then, a notification system sounded in his ear. Due to the Master's power stirring the earth, the Tomb Crypt Spirit Clan had emerged, opening the 4th trial. The system continued to announce that the goal was for any young person to seize the inheritance of the Spirit Clan. The reward was cultivation, along with an additional enhancement draw. The Master still could not directly intervene to assist the young person. At the same time, Chen Xuan was speaking to reassure everyone. Don't worry, this earthquake seems to be because something in the distant tomb abyss is opening," he said, feeling puzzled inside. "Has the 4th trial come already? To seize the inheritance of the tomb crypt, but why is it the Spirit Clan?" He raised his hand and furrowed his brow in thought. "In the past, I had raided the Spirit Clan, and now they are asking the young person to enter their tomb to loot. The Spirit Clan really is unfortunate." After that, Chen Xuan circulated his energy and flew up, forgetting to remind Zhu Wuyan below. "Wuyan, the Grandmaster wants you to retrieve the inheritance from that tomb. You must succeed, you cannot fail." Upon hearing this, Wuyan exclaimed loudly, "I still want to rest for a while longer." As he flew quickly, he thought to himself, I can't protect these kids forever. This time, let the youngsters see the world." Under the scorching sky of the desert, beneath the Sphinx statue, voices of reproach could be heard. "Look at the good job you have done. The most beautiful woman in the world, self-proclaimed, the queen of the Haoyu nation, Duan Mu Lai, Dao King realm, sat on her regal throne and pointed angrily at those below. I told you to chase after the tiger-devouring pearl, and as a result, the pearl is lost, and you even gave the meteorite map to someone else." Xiao Longshu knelt, respectfully replying, "But Your Majesty, I feel that giving away the meteorite map is a very meaningful investment." Xiao Yu, kneeling beside him, also added, "That's right. Establishing good relations with powerful individuals will undoubtedly benefit our nation." Duan Mu Lai left her noble throne, stepped forward and scolded, "You are of no help at all. You are the greatest disaster for our state. Quickly lead me to set out. I must go retrieve the map." Upon hearing this, the two turned pale and exclaimed, Retrieve it." Xiao Longshu stood up to block her, saying, "No, Your Majesty. Doing so would provoke that powerful figure. He could easily wipe out our clan with a wave of his hand." Duan Mu Lai stubbornly walked past the two, saying, "But if we don't go retrieve it, how you? I will have to watch as Great Marshal gets destroyed by others. Do you think we still have time?" She braced her arms, walked out confidently and commanded, "Everything stemmed from Great Marshal." The two people behind could not stop her, only knowing to nod in resignation. From the scorching desert, the scene shifted to a frigid icy landscape. In the barren land full of ice mountains, A voice echoed. "Oh, the Almighty, you have awakened, haven't you? Have you come to the wilderness to seek survival?" The mysterious figure spoke back. "Hexai, who are you? What has happened?" Dijia, a person without cultivation but possessing a very strong body, pointed at him with a smile and said, "Ha ha ha, my name is Dijia, a great wild master seeking survival, pursuing a strong body. Earlier, I seemed to see you faint from hunger, so I saved you." The mysterious man fell silent for a few seconds after hearing, then put on his hat, forcing himself to stand up under the concern of the master. Seeing the mysterious man looking up at the sky, Dijia anxiously spoke to comfort him. "The Almighty, you can't leave here." Hiding beneath a small ice block in front of the giant snail, he continued to reassure the mysterious man. "What I mean is, once you go outside, the huge sea snail will swallow you whole." "Damn it, I can't believe it would do that." Seeing the mysterious man shivering from the cold wind, Dijia laughed and said, "I, as the mightiest mortal, couldn't even fight it, so a regular person like you certainly cannot. But don't worry, we will hide for a few days, it will go away." The mysterious man revealed one eye and asked, "A few days?" Saying that, the man jumped onto the small ice block and declared loudly, "I, as the king of demonic spirits, will not endure this kind of humiliation." The giant snail immediately turned its head toward him. He seemed to be insane, unafraid of the sea snail, and even boldly challenged, "I am starving to death, you are my breakfast." The sea snail opened its large mouth, revealing its sharp teeth. Dijia, standing below, cried out in fear, "Who's eating whom here?" Dijia, hiding behind something, spoke up, "You foolish rat, hurry back. That sea snail is half a step into the divine transformation realm, and I, as a powerful individual among mortals, wouldn't dare to touch it. You'll just become breakfast." To Dijia's astonishment, the man delivered a blow that knocked several teeth out of the sea snail. He asked, "Is that so?" Seeing that scene, Dijia's eyes widened, and he exclaimed, "Oh my God, Lord, is this guy not an ordinary person without cultivation? I mean, how could you defeat that giant sea snail in the blink of an eye?" The sea snail, defeated, lay motionless at the spot. After the battle ended, the man revealed his face and relaxed his muscles, saying, "I've been hungry for 3 days, I need to replenish." Xu Wuyan held the map, walking through the forest devoid of leaves. His face was drenched in sweat, his eyes drowsy, almost closing. He sighed, thinking to himself, 3 days ago, the Grandmaster sent me to search for the Spirit Clan's inheritance, but for the past few days, the sky has been covered. Just now I was so hungry that Ling Tong took away all my focus." He walked a bit further and saw a monster with sharp teeth. In the monster's mouth was a shimmering green substance. Suddenly the monster emitted a strange aura, pulling everything into a whirlwind. In an instant, the monster vanished, leaving only leaves swirling in the blue sky. Xu Wuyan stared intently at the shimmering green blob, feeling powerless. He held his head, pulled his hair, and gaped, his face turning pale. He shouted, "What the hell? Where's my sea snail meat?" A bald man stepped out, pointing a finger and shouting, "Hey buddy, I've heard this sea snail has lived for 100,000 years. Maybe this green ball is about to give birth to a sea snail girl." Hearing the bald man say that, Xu Wuyan turned his head back, confused, and asked, "Sea snail girl?" The egg turned pink, revealing the shape of a girl with perfect curves. Her long, smooth, shiny hair left Xu Wuyan and the bald man in awe. "Oh, something has really come out," Xu Wuyan exclaimed. The egg cracked in pieces, revealing a black foot. A gentle voice sounded, "Ah, I have finally awoken." Xu Wuyan and the bald man stared at the egg, imagining inside it a girl with blue hair and a perfect body. The bald man even drooled, "Oh, the beautiful sea snail girl." Xu Wuyan mumbled, "She ate my sea snail, never mind." Suddenly, out of the egg stepped a chubby boy, pink petals fluttering in the air. The chubby boy squinted his eyes, blinked, and smiled brightly. "Ah, how long have I been sleeping this time?" Xu Wuyan was dumbfounded, nearly spitting blood. The bald man poked his eyes with his hands, blood oozing out from shock. "Oh damn, what is this?" Zhu Wuyan grabbed a hammer, charged at the chubby boy, his face twisted with anger, shouting, "Hey, you fat guy, not only did you steal my sea snail, but you also hurt my eyes. I must uphold justice." The chubby boy raised both hands, laughing loudly, war god style. He hugged Zhu Wuyan tightly, causing his eyes to bulge out and his mouth to bleed. But the chubby boy said gently, "Ha ha. It's been so long since we met, master. I missed you so much." The golden light from Zhu Wuyan's weapon attacked the chubby boy but was evaded by that light. Zhu Wuyan looked at the chubby boy, frowned, sweat pouring down. "What the hell is this? My war god style can't hurt him?" The chubby boy hugged Zhu Wuyan, astonished. "No, that's not right. Although you have the lazy aura of my master." The chubby boy separated from Zhu Wuyan, hugged him once more and threw him to the ground, shouting, "But you are nothing like my master, you are just a damn pervert, only imitating my master." Zhu Wuyan lay on the ground, angrily thinking, "Damn it, who is the real pervert here?" The chubby boy rested his chin on his hand, pondering everything before mumbling. "My memories before sleeping were, Master's hot pot chef had been hunted by the spirit clan for 3 days. After that, when I was about to enjoy the precious sea snail dish, I accidentally fell asleep. As a result, I have been sleeping ever since." The chubby guy turned to the bald man and Zhu Wuyan, asking, "You too, what year is it now? Do you know where the spirit clan is?" The bald man pointed towards the mountain peaks and replied, "Oh, very noble sir, it is now the era of azure waves. The spirit clan you mentioned has long since become a graveyard." Hearing the bald man say that, the chubby guy propped his chin up, his eyes widening in panic, thinking, "What? I have been asleep in the sea snail for 100,000 years? Furthermore, the spirit clan is dead. Does that mean they perished along with the master?" Sweat began to bead on the chubby guy's forehead. He leaped into the air and shouted, "No. Even if the spirit clan is dead, I must avenge the master." Zhu Wuyan, standing on the ground, angrily yelled, "You stole my sea snail and still want to run away." He chased after the chubby guy, shouting, "Stop." The bald man stood on the ground, calling out, "Wait, why are you two so strong?" He suddenly remembered that both Zhu Wuyan and the chubby guy had been starving for 3 days. The bald man realized, "Wait, have you stripped bare and joyfully revealed your 6-pack abs? Is it because of hunger and not wearing clothes?" Zhu Wuyan nodded, his face turning red. "It's a misunderstanding." From here, Dijia began the legend of the wild survival of those who ran around naked. The scene shifts to the mountainous landscape at night. Beneath the pitch-black sky, a wisp of black smoke drifts aimlessly. From among the clouds, a clear female voice emerges. "Hao Ran, the tomb is very close here." Lu Qingqing anxiously gazes at Chen Hao Ran, who is grilling meat, and says, "If we roast meat now, we will attract attention. It would be better to hunt in the forest." Hearing this, Chen Hao Ran becomes incredibly indignant. His face flushes red with anger as he replies, "It's fine, Sister Lu. Even though you are at the 3rd rank of divine transformation, what is there to fear? In this wild place, is there really anyone who would come to steal my meat?" Why is Chen Hao Ran so enraged? Because 3 days ago, Chen Tuan ordered the two of them to acquire the blood of the spirit clan. Nevertheless, Chen Tuan had invited Lu Qingqing to eat meat to help her advance to the divine transformation realm. He had also asked Chen Tuan about the benefits he might gain from the situation. Chen Hao Ran hugged Chen Tuan's leg, tears streaming down his face. "Grandmaster, I have been lacking my father's love since childhood. When the ancestor suddenly wants me to go on a long journey, I truly cannot bear it. How about I invite senior sister for a barbecue, and you give me a little magical artifact? Even a hair strand from you would be easy to carry with me and remind me of you." Qin Zuan pulled out a strand of hair and smiled. "Originally, I wanted to give you a supreme divine weapon, but since you want a hair strand, then I will give it to you." Hearing Chen Zhuan's words, Chen Hao Ran froze, his mouth agape. At that moment, he could only accept a strand of his ancestor's hair. While eating, Chen Hao Ran glanced at Lu Qingqing, catching her attention. He thought to himself, how annoying, senior sister's cultivation is now better than mine. She will definitely compete for my portion at the grave. Suddenly, a shout erupted from somewhere, startling both Chen Haoran and Luo Qingqing. Oh dear, little brother, don't chase me anymore. I can smell the food now. I'm here to repay you, okay? The ground beneath Chen Haoran's feet suddenly bulged, causing him and Luo Qingqing to stagger. A hammer unexpectedly erupted from the ground, astonishing him. A pained expression, a glowing object, and a technique launched straight for the heart. Chen Haoran clutched his rear, screaming in distress. Ah, my butt. Seeing him scream, Luo Qingqing looked surprised and glanced up at Zhu Wuyan, who was holding a national flag, his face beaming as he asked, did I stab you? The rotund figure, catching the delicious aroma of grilled meat, couldn't help but drool. Chen Haoran soared into the sky then crashed down onto the ground. Luo Qingqing hurriedly ran over and yelled, Haoran, be careful, there's an enemy ambushing. Chen Haoran, holding his rear, was both in pain and furious, replying, It's too late, my big eyes have already been ambushed. She was flustered, not knowing what to do, only able to say, then what should we do? Chen Haoran rubbed his aching rear, cursing under his breath. Damn it, where did that jerk come from? He rubbed his sore backside and stood up angrily. How dare you steal my barbecue? While they were ravenously devouring the meat, their faces turned green. Oh no, they had been discovered. Zhu Wuyan was nibbling on a piece of meat while holding a sword, saying, It's fine, watch me here. The war god technique emitted a strong beam of light aimed at Chen Haoran. As the attack approached, Chen Haoran skillfully dodged to the side, but the beam still grazed him, leaving behind a wound. At that moment, Luo Qingqing looked at him anxiously. What? The fighting spirit is too strong. After the technique caused chaos, the two jumped into a hole to retreat, forgetting to say a single farewell. Thank you for your hospitality, Chen Haoran shouted angrily, his face flushed, eyes ablaze with fury. Bastard, don't run away. Luo Qingqing stepped forward, grabbed his hand and said, Haoran, don't chase after them. These two can burrow underground right in front of us. Their strength is not to be underestimated. Hearing her words, Chen Haoran halted, glanced at the wound on his face, and silently fumed inside. Indeed, I didn't expect to encounter such formidable enemies in the outside world. Not only can I not compare with senior sister, but even the group of outsiders could threaten me. Chen Haoran released her hand and said seriously, Senior sister, I have to be serious. Upon hearing this, Luo Qingqing smiled, watching his figure leave. Yes, each serious expression and every determination of each person is brought to the surface. I must definitely obtain the inheritance of the spirit clan to prove that our lineage as heavenly emperor is the most impressive. In the desolate desert of the 9 deaths, one life realm, a group of people passed by. A high-ranking expert asked, Have you found out that the Wang Qian sect is indeed located here? The voice replied, That's right. The king of the Haoyu kingdom, sitting on a majestic lion, wore a disdainful expression. Coming to this shabby, remote place lowers my status. Today I must reclaim the map of fortune. His subordinate trailed behind, softly responding, Your Majesty, I fear you may regret it. Suddenly, a noble pink cat stood at Luo Qingqing's feet, letting out a sound, meow. Xiao Lam Shu and Xiao Xiao Yu, seeing the scene, excitedly exclaimed, Oh, such a cute little cat, it must want to play with the diamond fierce lion. Before anyone could react, the kitten was knocked away with just a pinch, leaving both of them stunned. Xiao Xiao Yu angrily approached, her eyes wide as she said, Diamond fierce lion, what are you doing? She sat and watched, her mouth curling into a delighted smile, her expression smug. Great job hitting it. A stray cat dares to play with the noble diamond fierce lion. We are nobles. While she was still basking in her smugness, her face suddenly changed, panic rising as she looked ahead. In front of the royal entourage from Hao Yu, the superb bright wolf growled, advancing with a fierce aura. The king of Hao Yu saw this and was alarmed, exclaiming, What? The blood of the great monster superb bright wolf has the highest lineage. Xiaolong Shu